Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations.com. I'm your host Mikey. In today's pattern what we're going to do is work on the gray scale blanket just like you see here, and gray is very much in trend just like you see the small example today. In today's tutorial we're going to talk about being able to make this. I'm going to show you how to do it. Also going to talk about the multiples in order to change the size if you wish. Just know that if you change the size you will change the ball counts just like you see here. If you'd like to do this large example, it's 52 inches by 65 inches long. In order to do this you'll need 3 balls of the 300 grams. These are the big balls just like you see here, and you'll need 3 balls of the dark gray, and you also need 3 balls of the vintage white, and then 2 balls, which is this one here, of the pale gray. Of course you can change out your colors to match your own decor, and let's get started on working on this pattern and let's talk a little bit about the work involved. So let's review the diagram key that is here. This is a crochet diagram, and we can see that there is an up and down motion. Both sides finish in the up formation, and if you look at it carefully you see that there's actually 3 chevrons. So 1, 2, and 3. To make this blanket in any size that you wish, all you just need to do is chain in sets of 14. So there's 14 stitches in a chevron, so 1, 2, and 3, and so that's what you can see here, and at the very end of your chain you're gonna add 3, and that gives you the multiples that you need in order to make this successful for you. So today's sample I'm gonna do a smaller version just to show you how to do the up and down motion, and I'm gonna show you how to change color. And in today's pattern you'll need a size N or 10 millimeter crochet hook, and you also need Bernat blanket yarn. You can substitute your hook size and your yarn if you love this pattern so much in order to change it. You should know though, if you change any kind of chain counts in this you will need a different quantity of yarn, and I don't know what that answer is. So without further ado let's get started and working on this particular project. I'd like to talk about the chain before I actually physically do it, and you'll notice here this is a smaller example that I'm about to do. And what we have in this particular example here is that it's in multiples of 14. But you should know, because of the up and down motion, when you go to chain with this yarn you're going to notice that the chain is going to be really long, but because you're doing the up and down motion the string will change. So for example, say that you had a string and it's like this length, okay, and you're thinking okay that's really long, but just think about the string bending down like this and all of a sudden it's a shorter distance. So when you're considering how long this afghan or wide this afghan should be, you should consider that the length of the chain isn't necessarily what the outcome of the afghan is going to be. So you have to consider that it's going to have to bend down just like so. So it's kind of a neat idea, and what I have here, let's take a measurement and I'll show you what the thickness of one chevron will be if you're deciding that. So off camera I did a measurement and it is 6 inches from one side of the chevron to the other. Just these are 6 inches. So 14 stitches equals about 6 inches. So that gives you an indication, and see how it's going down. So when you go to chain that 14 it's going to be probably out appearing to be a lot wider, like out where my thumb is here, and that's because it is going down. In today's tutorial I'm going to get you started here, and this is a very easy pattern. Once we get on to row number 2 all the other rows are exactly identical. I'm going to show you how to change color as well to make this particular project. So let's get started on the next. So let's begin with a slip knot. So if you'd like to make the exact pattern you can chain 115 if you wish, and if you would like to alternate the size to make it a different size then you're going to do a multiples of 14, which I'm going to do because that's just makes a lot of sense. So let me go, and I'm going to chain 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. So after you get 14 you can make a decision whether it's long enough or not. Remember it has to come down, so it's not going to be this wide, it's going to be more like this, and so then you can do as many multiples as 14. So I would do another set of 14. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Once you're satisfied with the whole length of your chain, at the very end of your chain if you're doing it this way you're gonna add an additional 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Let's pull up the crochet diagram. I want to show you something next. So I want to show you the diagram here, and what we're going to do is that the ends are always going to be the same. So they're always going to be up, coming down, and then back up and down, up and down, and ending in the up, just like it is on the other side. So this is one of those projects where it doesn't matter which row you're starting on to, because both sides are in the up position. It makes it a lot easier. So for example, say you had it like this and the other side was finishing in the down, it'd make it harder to remember. So when we're in the up position, we're going to be adding more stitches. So you can see that the first one here has 3 double crochets in the first one. That chaining of 3 counts as a double crochet. And in the bottom on this side of the chevron, there's 3 that come into 1 at the top, and then the other side there's 3 that come into 1 at the top. So as you're on the top, you're adding extra stitches, and in the bottom you're subtracting stitches, which keeps this going up and down. So the next up on the middle one here on this side of it going up has 3, and then 3 additional stitches added to the top, and on the other one is 3 additional on that side, and then you come down and it subtracts stitches. So that's what's happening on any kind of chevron kind of idea like this, is that usually at the top they're adding extra stitches because in the bottom side they're subtracting, and that's what keeps it going in the up and down fashion. You're also going to notice that this looks really jagged when you're going to do this, but as you saw my example today, because of the thickness of the yarn, the waves are more lazier looking, and it actually looks pretty cool. So let's get started on that next. So regardless if you started with 110 or 15 chains, or you've done it in multiples of 14, the same, it's going to be the same. So coming 4th chain from the hook, so 1, 2, 3, and 4, this is where you want to start. So just turn it around and get the back hump of that 4th one, and what you want to do is doing a double crochet into that one. So the chains that you just skipped over counts as a double crochet. This is a double crochet, and you're going to add another one to that same stitch. So that is your top 3 of the double crochets, and now we're going to move down. So the nice thing about this particular pattern is that in between the tops and the bottoms there's 3 double crochets that stand alone. That's what makes it really easy. So the next 3 stitches will be 1 double crochet each. So continuing on the back hump of the chains, just continue to do 1 double crochet in each of the next 3. So this is the 2nd and 3rd. So now that we're got that, so we got the top one here, it's got 3 in this one, these 3 are standing by itself. Now we're going to be in the down position as we then start coming up at the bottom. So the next 3 stitches are going to be together. So how we do that is that we wrap the yarn first, and going into the next chain, go insert in, yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2, and then we do the next one. So yarn over, going into the next chain, push through, and yarn over, pull through, and then pull through 2. So you're going to collect until there's 4 of these loops on the hook. So move to the next chain in, so yarn over into the next chain, pull through, and then pull through 2. So now you have 4 loops on the hook. So these 3 now just became 1. The first loop is the starting string here, so don't worry about that. So yarn over and pull through all of the 4 loops. So those 3 just became into 1, just like it shows in the pattern. So this is one side. So this is expanding at the top for 3, going down with 3 individuals by itself, and then the bottom 3 are together. We're now going to move up the other side of the chevron. So the next 3 are going to be together. So just going in, pull through 2, and hold. Okay, next one. Okay, so we want to collect so that there's 4 loops on the hook. So we just have to collect them. It's called DC3 together. So now that you have your 4 loops, you can see that these 3 are here. This is the starting one, so you don't worry about that. Yarn over, pull through all the 4 loops, and now you're ready to go in the up formation of the other side of the chevron. So the next 3 stitches are going to be 1 double crochet each. So 1 and 2 and 3. So we're now heading to the up to the other side now, and now we're heading and about to go over the top. Okay, so you see that it's not as high as the other one because we're not done. So the next stitch is going to have 3 double crochets into the same stitch, and this allows it to then start to turn over in order to create the upper part of the chevron. So there's 3 in this one. So that's one side of the chevron done if you look at it from this point of view. So there's one chevron done, and now we're ready to move on to the next chevron, which is gonna start at the very top. So the next one is gonna be 3 double crochets into that one. So now we're gonna just, it's kind of like the halfway point of a chevron. So one side of it has 3 in the same and the other side has 3 in the same, like that. So you can kind of see it's now started to turn over and go down. So the next 3 are going to be 1 double crochet each. Okay, so this is the spaces in between the top section and the bottom section. There's just always 3 double crochets that sit by themselves when you do that. Okay, up and down. So now we're gonna be on the bottom. So the next 3 are gonna be grouped together. So we're gonna put them together. So we're just insert into the next one and they're double crochet 3 together. And I've already shown you more slowly how to do that. So let's put these together and you're gonna go all the way across the line doing this exact same formation, just going up and down. Once you have 4 loops on the hook, yarn over, pull through all 4, and now that is 1/2 of the chevron going down, and now we're gonna do the other half. Okay, so this is leading to going in the up motion on the other side. So the next 3 are together. Okay, this one's a little tricky to get into. Just like so. So these 3 are together. So we're just gonna pull through all 4 loops and now we're gonna work our way up. So the next 3 are by themselves. So a double crochet up by itself. So 1 and 2 and 3, leaving us with just 1 stitch left over, which is here. And now on that one here it's the edge. So in the edge it's always gonna be the same of ending with 3 double crochets right in the very end. Okay, so if your chain was much longer obviously you'll be going up and down until you get to the very end, but this is what it looks like. Let me just pull this out. So if I flatten things out you'll see that it goes up and down. So this side is ending in the up, it goes up and down, and the other side ends in the up as well. So I'm gonna keep the yarn on and I'm gonna turn the work and let's go for row number 2. In row number 2, in all other rows for this particular afghan, it's always the same. So we're always gonna start off by chaining 3, which counts as a double crochet, and in the exact same stitch right underneath it we're gonna put 2 more double crochets there. So that gives you your count of 3 double crochets. So now we're gonna move down the line. So the next 3 are going to be 1 double crochet into each. So 1 and we got number 2, so that's by itself, and 3. So now we're in the bottom now and the next 3 have to come together. So what I want you to look at here is that you'll see that there's gonna be 2 double crochets sitting by itself and then the 1 is the group of the first 3. So in the bottom there's 2 groups of 3 just like you see. So in this one here the next 3 are together, which will be the first 2 double crochets and then this group of 3. So if you can remember that, it's a very easy thing. So let's put the next 3 together. So just like we had shown you before, you start gathering your stitches. So the last one is that first group of 3. So now you got 4 loops on your hook, pull through all of them, and now let's do the other side. So the next 3 are together. So just start gathering. So the next 3, the first one is the group of 3 here, and then the next 2 double crochets that are by itself. I tell you that because it makes a big difference when you're working on these kind of projects, what you can physically look at, and it makes it a lot easier. Once you have your 4 loops on the hook, just pull through all 4 loops and now we're ready to go in the up formation. So the next 3 are by themselves. So 1, 2, and 3. So I want to give you another visual key. So in the 3, they're in the top, there's 3 that are in the same stitch. You can see it's orientated right there, and on the other side of that there's 3 in this one. So when I went up to there was 3 by themselves. The last one here is where the next 3 goes into. Okay, do you see that clue? So there's gonna be 3 double crochets in the top of that one. So that allows it to start turning over. That's one side of the chevron. You can clearly see it here. And on the other side of the chevron you have your group of 3 just like you see, and the first one is gonna have 3 double crochets in it. So 1, and that allows it to completely turn over. So the next 3 are gonna be by themselves. So 1, 2, and 3. So we're back at the bottom just like we were on the other side. So let's review that again. So you have 3 that are on the bottom. The last one is the group of 3, which means that I'm in the right position. So we're just gonna gather the first 3. It's gonna be 3 together double crochet. So you got 4 loops on your hook and pull through all of them. And now let's go back up the other side. So we have to put the next 3 together. The first one is a group of 3 that's here in the bottom. So we do it so that there's 4 loops on the hook, and now we go up the other side. So it's gonna be 3 double crochets standing by itself, and if your stitch counts are right, you're gonna go up and down all the way until you hit the very end. And here's my 3 that are sitting by themselves. Just like you see, the last stitch is the turning chain, and in the last stitch we're gonna put in 3 double crochets. So it's a very easy pattern to remember as long as you can look for the key elements of when to put 3 into the same one and when to make 3 into 1, just like you see here. So what I want to do is that I want to show you how I change color. So I'm just going to trim off my yarn about 8 inches, and I'm going to take this yarn and I'm gonna pull it through the loop and lock it. So it's gonna be locked in, and what I want to do then is just take my yarn and just weave it in a few of these stitches, and then the next time I'm coming across with my next color, it's gonna be underneath and trapped into position. So what I'm gonna do then is just turn my work, and I'm gonna start here, but I'm gonna turn my work, and I want to grab my next color, and I'll show you how to do the next color. So I'm gonna do the next color. It's just gonna be a darker gray. So you can do the color scheme as per the pattern. It's up to you and what you want to do. There is a certain order in order to make it exactly like that. So in the top one here, the first one, okay, there's 3. It's gonna go into the top one. You're going to join it with a slip stitch. So just let this yarn going from the yarn ball pull through, lock it. Keep this straggler down on top so you can trap it in a position, and I want you to chain up 3, which counts as a double crochet. So because you're in the up formation, this one here needs 2 more double crochets. Okay, so this is the top of the chevron. And now the next one. So now that you have your 3 in the first one, the next 3 are by themselves. They're just double crochets, making sure the straggler stays down on top of the line so it gets stuck underneath the stitches. So that was 1, this is 2, and 3. So now that we're at the bottom again, so what we want to do is that the next 3 are going to be together. So here's the group of 3 that we talked about. Here's the 2 individuals that sit by themselves. So the next 3 are going to be together. So again, leaving the stragglers down on top of the line, it gets stuck underneath the stitches. You barely can see it. So these 3 are going to become together. Yarn over and pulling it through once you have all 4 loops on the hook, and then go up the other side. So the next 3 are together. 1, 2, so I'm collecting it so I get 4 loops on the hook and pulling it through all 4 loops. So we're gonna come up the other side and we're going to put 3 individuals by themselves. So 1, 2, and 3. So at the very top you have your groups of 3 just like we showed before. So this one here in the group of 3, it's the last one available to you. It's gonna be 3 double crochets like we had before, so you can turn the corner. So this is one side of the chevron done. You see that? And now let's move to the other side. So the other side is gonna have 3 double crochets. So 1, 2, and 3. And now we're gonna move down. So the next 3 are by themselves. So it's really quite an easy pattern to work with. Everything is in groups of 3. And you can have a really neat look with this. It'll grow really quickly in this particular afghan because of the size of the yarn. So the next 3 are together. So they're in the bottom. So we're bringing them together so we can turn that corner at the bottom. Once you get your 4 loops on there, just put them together and then go up the other side. So the first 3 are together. So like so. bring it together. The next 3 are by themselves. So 1, 2, and 3. And then the final stitch, if you've done it right, you're gonna go up and down all the way across just like you've done here, and the final stitch there will be 3 double crochets in the turning chain. So this is how you do the grayscale blanket. It's just a really easy pattern to worry about. It's, well, if you want to worry about it at all, it's really quite easy to do, and it's a lot of fun to do, and you'll see your Afghan grow in no time. So on behalf of the Crochet Crowd as well as Yarnspirations, thank you so much for joining me, and until next time, we'll see you. Bye bye.